Hi, welcome to the Vedic Astrology full moon forecast for June of 2022. The moon is waxing, the energy is increasing. How are you feeling? The moon is waxing, getting bigger and brighter, and on June 14th at 4:52 a.m. Pacific time, the moon will reach the end of the Purnima Tithi and then begin to wane again. Feeling challenged, needing to lean into something, lean into fear or into new territory that you're not familiar with. This full moon is a very empowering and courageous energy that can expand your comfort zone, that can give you a new sense of self-respect or empowerment. But this full moon is also on a very transformative and very rare placement, actually, for a moon, right at the edge, at the threshold of something that's completely different, very transformational energy that we're crossing through in these days. The full moon is in the area of the sky called Jyestha Nakshatra. Jyestha Nakshatra. Jyestha is at the heart of the scorpion, in the center of Scorpio, near a bright red star called Antares, the rival of Mars. Jyestha also means eldest, like something you respect. In ancient culture, the elders were respected, including the elder women in families. So Jyestha Devi, the goddess that dwells in this star, is an ancient goddess of seniority, represented in the feminine. She has a beautiful, voluptuous body of fertility and abundance. But this goddess over time has evolved to symbolize adversity and misfortune. So this is a very complex place for the full moon, obviously. As you can see, it has to do with respect, self-respect, empowerment, the balance of power, right? And power transfers within government. As we approach this full moon and for the days following it, we're going to be having these public trials, rehashing and reviewing the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. So it's as if the spotlight now is on power, tradition, government, respect, these themes that Jyestha carries through. Another really interesting and rare thing about this full moon is that it is right at the edge, right at the end of Scorpio, at the cusp between the watery depths of Scorpio, the 29th degree, the deepest part of Scorpio in a sense, and Sagittarius, the fiery power of Sagittarius. And so there's a point here called Gandanta in Vedic astrology, where the fire and the water signs meet. It's a juncture of instability, especially on the water side where this full moon's happening in Scorpio. Sometimes it's called the place of drowning, right? Like drowning, deep, kind of murky. If you can imagine diving to the deepest, the degree of Scorpio, what's down at the bottom of the swamp, okay? And also, sometimes it's called the karmic knot. Gandanta sometimes is translated as knot or edge point. Something that's entangling, something that is symbolizing attachment in this world, and why we take incarnation in a way is these entanglements of attachment and illusion that keep us searching for happiness in the world. So this full moon has a very special spiritual power to be able to untangle some of these attachments, perhaps. It is a dangerous place, the Gandanta, they say. So there may be, with all of everything that's going on in the world, this is a sign of that we are at the threshold, we're at the crossroads with something now. The positive thing, though, is that Jupiter, the expansive guru and the one that blesses and protects, is at a very positive dristi, a positive trinal aspect onto this full moon, and its Lord Mars. So it's giving a sort of protection and an opportunity, I think, this full moon to face your fears, take risks, and channel it into motivation to change, motivation to come back and own your power, perhaps in relationships or in the work you do, or in any way that you may be feeling disenfranchised or disempowered or disrespected. This is a possibility for healing and recuperating, reclaiming yourself. Venus, the goddess of love and all things feminine, is crossing the mean node Rahu, the head of the snake that causes eclipses, right during this full moon and for the days following. So this is an expansive and rather liberating energy for Venus. This could be changing relationships. This could be shaking things up. It could be creating sudden romantic encounters or really inspiring artistic experiences as well. It's interesting, Venus is also crossing Uranus a few days before this, and they're very similar in these energies. So this is a time when, there may be some fast changes in relationships, or also possibly some fast expansion in inflation. But another thing this Venus-Rahu alignment reminded me of is the fact that Rahu is the one that causes eclipses, right? He caused the solar eclipse in Bharani on April 30th. That's where Venus and Rahu are now converging in this star called Bharani. If you remember, Bharani has a lot to do with female reproductive power because it symbolizes the yoni, right? It's the gateway of the soul. And just a few days after that solar eclipse, it was revealed that there was an agenda to remove Roe versus Wade, what protects reproductive rights for women in the United States on a federal level. So now that Venus is there, there may be more action, more key events surrounding this issue coming up in the next week or so. Okay. So I think I just said everything I needed to say about this full moon. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say about the full moon in Jyestha Nakshatra. Okay, so the first card that came through is the card of strength. In the Rider-Waite, the traditional decks, this is the strength card. This really is about empowerment and control, self-control as well, overcoming fear, self-realization, self-development, and confidence. The power of the spirit surmounting itself in a way. And the Chariot, another one that's really similar to the Strength card in that way. It is really about the empowerment of the self and moving with it, energizing this full moon energy with Jupiter's support to take positive actions. And maybe these positive actions have to do with boundaries. The Four of Coins came. Being able to say no. Being able to claim what is yours and protect that part of yourself. Create self-protection, healthy boundaries, containment of your energy. Reclaim your power. Remember who you are. Rise up and overcome oppression that comes from within and without. Change is the way forward. You are being carried by your spirit a spirit that deserves respect, love, and protection. You are a protector and you are protected. You create a safe space within your heart. You have the right to open and close the gates. You are the queen of your life. Step into your power. There is so much that you can do in this world. Okay. Thanks for joining me on the Industry Astrology Full Moon Forecast. I do offer one-on-one Vedic Astrology readings and Tarot readings on Zoom. You can reach out to me on my website. There's a calendar there. You can book a reading with me if you'd like to. Check it out. Check out your Vedic chart. Also, I offer classes, some pre-recorded classes around Vedic astrology and also the recent transits of Jupiter and Saturn. Also, be sure to get on my newsletter. You can calculate your birth star, your birth nakshatra, if you know your time of birth. Check it out on my website. And also be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will see you soon coming up on the next new moon.